Okay, I think we're all good once again. All working nicely. Just going to be tweeting out the stream. Do bear with. Just a moment. Hello to anyone that's here already. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, hello. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well again this evening. For those that are tuning in and are joining us, come off of that. Got a few messages coming already. Yo from EC. Hello EC. Let's do it. Adam H White. Hello Adam. How are you? Boys, be letting me know how you are in the chat. Don't be shy. We're all pals here. Okay, so as you can tell by the title of the stream, one topic that I was discussing with some mates of mine in one of our group chats the other day was following up from BBC Sport. What they like to do after every Premier League season, when it's finished, they like to give the fans the opportunity to pick their team of the season by running through it. Coming through an article where Garth Crooks selects his team this season, and then they add on another little feature where you can put together your own team and your own squad from the best players you think who have performed the best from the Premier League this season that has just come to a close. And this is what I wanted to address in today's stream. So for those of you who are here with us, please throughout the stream do be letting me know, as we're going to be going through it one by one through goalkeepers, defensive options, midfielders and forwards. Who do you think should be in the team of the season from this season that has just finished? So let's head into it. As you can see, got a few graphics here, a few pictures of some of the key stand-up players from this year. Virgil van Dijk, Eden Hazard, Raheem Sterling. Also to the left of that, just below there, you can see my Twitter @ and my Instagram handle. Do go and follow me on both of them. And if you are new here and you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with any streams like this that we'll be doing about any of these particular topics. Like, it could be very vast like this, or it could be on particular clubs. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out when we do streams relating to your particular club, whoever it is, if it's Arsenal or City or Brighton, as we did yesterday. That someone was watching yesterday said it's really nice to come across someone doing a stream about Brighton and Hove Albion and not one of the big teams all the time. So yeah, brilliant. So let's just head into it. Let's load up the chat. As we saw the message earlier from EC and Adam H White. Yo, and let's do it. Adam's great. Good to hear, man. Good. Glad to hear. I hope Kent is treating you well. You're having a good time at home. EC, I'm fantastic. Sire, wow, very posh. What about you? I'm good. I'm very good. Can't complain. Had a very good, productive day and streaming again, as this is a heck of a lot of fun. And Adam White starts the proceedings with who should be in teams? Paul McCallum. What a player! What a player! Does Worthy? What the term is? Am I correct in saying he was in the National League team of the season? Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but I think he was. I know Josh Hare was. Was McCallum in there? Do let me know in the chat to remind me. Fantastic stuff. Just going to check it over here, see what's happening. We have 4 watching at the moment. Thank you to all 4 of you watching. I hope you are enjoying. Very correct. I knew it. I bloomin' knew it. What a player. Must have learned it from his time back at Pompey, where he was there for 3 months and did nothing. But, we'll forget about that. Okay, so just to rehash the point, through this stream, this around hour-long stream, we're going to be going through who do you think should be in this year's Premier League team of the season? Towards the end, you're going to be seeing a little team of the season that I put together that is partly mixed between who I think should be there, and I know there might be one or two points that might get disagree with, but that's good because this will open up a good discussion. Not all of them are exactly my picks, but I got a bit stuck, so I took to the actual Premier League website and I looked through statistics, whether it was goals, assists, or minutes played, games played, and so many like smaller figures and facts that you don't really look towards, like ball retention and things like that. And using that and using suggestions that people had been when putting together articles, so I had to look and I put together a team of the season that I think is very fair. There'll be probably one or two players in that is very open to debate, but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. It should be up for debate. This is something that everyone will have their own idea of who should be in and who shouldn't be. So best bet is to get started and just head into it, I would say. So we move along. Let's get ready for a sick transition. Are you ready for it? There it is. Here we are. Goalkeepers. Which shot stopper should be in the team of the season? I got handy pages of notes just here with me. In regards to the players, you'll see just here. Okay, so we're going to start by going through them. Of course, there's been a lot of great goalkeeper performances so far. Well, like this season, so far the season's over. There have been a number of stand-up performances. The first, not the first two in particular, the first three, the first you see, and the third. Second, usually would be much more reliable. Hasn't had a great season, neither has his team, but we'll get more into that. Starting off with Alisson of Liverpool. Can't be around the fact that the stats do show that he had more clean sheets than any other goalkeeper this season with 21. Ederson just behind with 20. Both of them had terrific seasons with their sides. Man City and Liverpool, of course, shock horror, the two teams that have had one of the biggest title battles and the closest title battles that we've ever seen in the Premier League. Like, it's still mind-numbing to even comprehend the fact that Liverpool came second on 97 points. I know is absolute torture for them, but it goes to show how strong both teams are and how competitive it has been between the two. Just the two. All the rest were really off and away. It was just them two in a league of their own, to pardon the pun. So Alisson and Ederson both making a very good case as to why they should be in there. You may be wondering why the rest of these keepers in this list just here are there. These are the names of keepers that featured in the actual BBC Sport article where people could pick their own team of the season. These are the keepers that appeared. So there's some here that are up for debate and very easy to be debated with. But for whatever reason, they were featured, and it'd be more than fair to be going through them and explaining to me who you think should be between the sticks for this year's team of the season. So we've already had a couple messages from EC. Easily Alisson, understandably. You know, it's a fair point. And not just because, of course, your allegiance to Liverpool, but he has been very good this year in his debut season for Liverpool and debut season in the Premier League. He's done very well. Of course, it's not just all down to him. Liverpool have an amazing back four ahead of him, but he has played his part, no matter of a doubt, no shadow of a doubt. He has done his bit and has been very impressive. It was, I first came across Alisson properly, like, of course, a player you've heard of, but really started to get to a grips of more what he had on offer when Liverpool last season played Roma in the Champions League. I believe it was him that Liverpool signed him from. And despite the fact that Liverpool were, routed that game, scoring multiple goals, Alisson, you could see that he had a lot of potential within him, and in a better side than that Roma side, he could do great things, and that's what he's done with Liverpool. Nothing domestic yet, no titles yet. They came pretty close in the Premier League, and they still have a final today of a pretty big competition you may have heard of called the Champions League. So it still could happen. It still could happen. We have a message from GBW saying Rui Patricio, very interesting that he, at the very bottom of the list, was nominated in the article of who should be in team of the season players. In terms of clean sheets, only the 7 this year, but you say only 7. He's done, that's pretty good for Wolves, who this is their first season in the Prem after being promoted last season. It's hard to believe that with the season they've had and where they finished. I mean, of course, they came 7th. So they're out of the rest of the teams that aren't in the top 6 of City, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham. They are the best side, the best team out of that. So for a team in their debut season to do that is quite an achievement, to say the least. So you have to give them props for it. And Patricio, it was a sign that a lot of people were surprised about, in all fairness. Like, people didn't expect it. They just thought, of course they had the backing going into that season, and that, of course, that was go a long way. They didn't splash it too much like some teams have done in the past that didn't work out. No, they were more smart of it, and of course they brought on a number of loan players as well as some good quality players that were happy to come along because of the backing and the long-term plan that Wolves had, the likes of Moutinho and Neves as well, other Portuguese players that have really impressed. And there are a couple of Wolves players throughout the stream that are up for the debate of whether they should be in team of the season or not. So that goes, that's clear as day as to really, show off the fact and really highlight the fact of how well they've done this year, that they have a smattering of players that are being nominated to be part of the team of the season. Now we head back here to goalkeeper view. We're going to go back through the list in another moment, just looking back at the stream, see what people are saying. We have GBW again saying all Alex Smithies. Interesting suggestion, to say the least. Alex Smithies of QPR, am I right in saying? I think I am. Do correct me if I'm wrong, GBW. Don't hide away from correcting me if I'm wrong. And Adam HY, again with an EC reference of Luke Salford. What a season he had at the Spitfires on loan from Reading. A terrific player who really I could see doing good things in the Reading side in the future. It would be not too hard to imagine him doing that the way he is going. He added a lot to that Eastleigh side and was a real big factor as to why they made it to the National League playoff semi-finals and ended up losing only on penalties to the team that won it in the end, Salford City, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth for low league football with the amount of backing that and money that were pumped into Salford. But sometimes that's the way it has to be done. But yeah, sadly Luke Salford can't be, as not in the Premier League. Not yet, mind you, not yet. We have some sports news chiming in. That's a throwback and a half. Definitely Rui Patricio. That's a very fair statement. He has done well, can't be denied. That can't be denied whatsoever. Only the 7 clean sheets, but like I said, for a team like Wolves, 7 is a fair way to go, a fair achievement to have. Kevlar29, hello Kev, says a team of Allisons. I mean, maybe not a whole team, because it's fair to say your team is pretty good. They're pretty good that you wouldn't want to replace everyone with Alisson. But who knows, any other team, lower league, they might do better with a team of Allisons. Who knows? It's all up for debate, but Alisson seems to be leading the way in opinions of who should be between the sticks for team of the season. GBW, he sold for £3 million and played like one game to Cardiff City. £3 million for... That's pretty decent, I can't deny it. £3 million and he had to play one game. I mean, do let me know in the chat. Tell me, GBW, how was he in that one game? Was it a clean sheet at least, or was it a 3-0 drubbing? Well, the way you put thanks for Cardiff kiss, I'm guessing he wasn't exactly setting the world alight. So Sports News says, boo, Salford City fraud club. I wouldn't say fraud club, potential to be fraud club. It's the sad reality of it, but it's up for debate how much was Adam Rooney. They signed Adam Rooney from wasn't it someone in the Scottish Premier League, and Chris Sutton always had a heart attack over the news, and I've never seen a man more angry. And this is Chris Sutton, who is patriotic to say the least, and it just was another real nail in the coffin for Scottish football that one of the best attacking players outside of the top two, Rangers and Celtic, decided to go to the English non-league. It still can't be happen. It says a lot about that. It can't be denied. Chris Hughes, put Stephen Adams in goal. Big Kiwi needed. Now Stephen Adams would do a job. I can't deny it. Have you seen the size of that man? Have you seen the size of his quads? Jesus Christ. Could not. He's just a big guy, isn't he? He could do well at any... I could imagine lower league club sticking between the nets. Good with his hands, of course, he's a basketball player. Just have to learn the basics of just diving and kicking to a degree. I'm sure there'll be some clubs that would look to take him on. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Hope you're enjoying it. Do let us know any players you think that should be on further on as we move towards further up the pitch. GBW, I think it was a game where they lost to Gills in the Cup. Well, that says it all then. Oh, God. Well, £3 million. Enjoy that money. You could do well with that. 4K a week to miss the first penalty in the playoff semi could never be my striker, says it all. I'll tell you who could be your striker though. Paul Mac, Big Macca, Paul McCallum, with his fancy text for his Twitter. What a guy. One thing I always liked about Paul McCallum, that pointed out to me, he has a very interesting layout of his Instagram. I don't know if you've never seen it, and if you're watching this, you're not really too clued up on Eastleigh, do have a look at Paul McCallum's Instagram. I don't know if it's the same now, but when I last looked for a mate of mine who used to work at a club, he showed me that every 3 pictures, he would then put another 3 to make like a little bar that went across for like promotional reasons. Well, if I've had you on Instagram, you're pretty much already are promoted, so it was interesting. Oh, look at this absolute dream team right here of these 2 messages. I get a love heart and I get daddy. It's what more could you want? Hello to Chris and Sammy, hope you are enjoying. Do let us know what you think throughout. So back to list of keepers. Let's have a quick run through it. Of course, we're talking about Ellison. Oh my God, just mixed Alisson and Ederson. Imagine if that happened. How many clean sheets would that player get? Alisson with 21 clean sheets. Ederson with 20. Patricio, a very, a fair shout for a player that could be put up for this with 7. But the performances he's put in, he's done very well. The rest of the list, David De Gea. Towards the end of this season, Man United didn't have a good season overall, but towards the end of it, De Gea really did struggle. People were questioning whether his mind was elsewhere with the way the club was going. Is he eyeing up a move to elsewhere? Real Madrid, possibly, people have been saying. He only got 7, which for any other keeper, you'd be like, that's fair. Premier League, very competitive league. But for a player of his standard and a team of Man United's standards, 7 clean sheets for their number one goalkeeper, you would expect more. For reference, that's the same amount of clean sheets that Lucas Fabianski of West Ham, who had a fairly decent season, and Ben Foster of Watford had as well. Both had 7 clean sheets. He had a very good season as well, Ben Foster, can't be denied. What a season for Watford. They need to be given credit of it. They've done very well this year. There are points like, I think they fell away towards the end. Well, they could be simply just focusing on FA Cup final they have coming up against Man City, a massive game for them. Ended up finishing 12th in the Premier League, with likes of Everton, Leicester, West Ham and Crystal Palace finishing ahead of them, along with Wolves in 7th and then the top 6. So not a bad season for them. They had some real highs throughout the season, and not 100% likely, but it's not impossible. They could still finish off the season amazingly and get a massive bit of silverware in the FA Cup. If you don't know already, fun fact, I bloody love the FA Cup. Absolutely love it. Couple more messages coming through. Hazard149. Hello, Zer. Hope you're well. Patricio. Another backer of Patricio. Fair enough. He's done very well. It can't be said enough. So Sports News again. That would be so good if Alisson Ederson mixed. Haha, unstoppable. It can't be denied. Can't be denied. God, just imagine. I'm trying to think now. Imagine what sort of points total would be final if you just mixed the Man City and Liverpool squads all together. That's actually a very good point, actually. Feel free if you want to, or don't feel free. You don't have to. You get them combined 11s. I'm sure they must have done ones early in the season for when Liverpool and City played the two times they did. But seeing how the season has finished, their combined 11, who would be in it and who wouldn't be? Who would be and who wouldn't be? Do tell me. Do let me know who would be in, for sure. I'm sure there's a couple of players that you'd have to bank on the fact that they would be in. Carrying on through the list, Jordan Pickford of Everton is here. One that could have shocked a few people, but turns out, believe it or not, 14 clean sheets this season for Everton. Now, when I was looking through his stats and I was checking up, that did shock me at first. I didn't expect it to be that many. 14 is a very respectable amount. Of course, Everton finished 8th. Very, not a bad season. I'd say very good, but can't go too much on it because, of course, their fierce rivals were 1 point winning the league, so I'm sure they want to be doing a bit better than that, of course, in comparison to their rivals. But 8th, good season, 14 clean sheets for Jordan Pickford, who's been getting a bit of stick this season, which, no bias, I'm a fan of Jordan Pickford, of course. I'm a big fan of any English player, especially the lads that performed as well as they did last year in Russia, and he was one of them. He was absolutely superb. Of course, people have been picking up on the fact that they could say got a slight chip on his shoulder. It's fair argument. There's moments where he's probably shown a bit of ego when playing for that certain incident where he was out with his friends on a night out, and people there turned on him, and then it turned ugly. For the record, I'm not gonna hold him responsible for that. I know it is his responsibility to conduct himself better when in that scenario where people will be coming at you. Of course, you're earning millions of pounds a year doing something you love, that they'd love to be doing. Of course, you're going to get people like that. It's fair to say that at the same time, yeah, do conduct yourself better and not fall victim to it. But from reading further into it, I can imagine even if I was in his position, earning the money I did, if people said to me what they said to him, I could imagine I wouldn't let that slide as well. Not saying I'd fight them, because I'm a big other word for cat. I wouldn't fight them, but I wouldn't just be able to walk away and turn the other cheek to some of the things they were saying. But yeah, so Pickford is in there with 14 clean sheets. Others also featuring Tom Heaton, only 4 clean sheets, but I was looking through this and I thought, only 4? That seemed a bit unusual, the fact he was featured in. But then I remembered Joe Hart was playing for Burnley. He's on loan, and he featured very heavily for them at the start of this season. He got 4 clean sheets in that time, but then after a few performances, they brought in Heaton instead, and that was a period in the year when Burnley went on that incredible run, and after having a terrible first half of the season, their second half was incredible, and that's what really secured them survival, and not just barely survival. They finished fairly, like 15th place with how they started. People wouldn't have expected that. Towards the beginning, people really thought Burnley were heading down. So even though it was only 4 clean sheets, Heaton put in some massive performances that, in some games, that didn't involve them getting a clean sheet, but he was instrumental for them doing better. Others mentioned as well, Kepa Arrizabalaga, of course, most well-known moment this year being when he refused to come off in the League Cup final against Manchester City as it went to the penalty shootout. Sarri planned to take him off and bring on Willy Caballero to feature in the shootout because he used to play for City. He's come up against them a lot when it comes to penalties, and apparently Caballero is much more of a shot-stopping expert from 12 yards out than Kepa, apparently. So it was planned, but he didn't go ahead with it, and sadly they lost, and there was moments in that shootout that I'm sure Kepa would have said he could have done better. But still, 14 clean sheets for a season that Chelsea haven't had their best season, apparently have struggled a lot. Not bad. Bernd Leno, 6 clean sheets. He's getting used to their first season back. Arsenal they're in that period where transitional period, so I won't judge them too much for that. And Hugo Lloris, 12 clean sheets. Not bad. That's decent. I'd maybe expect more from Lloris, but it's been a year that Tottenham have had the ups and downs, and they've still got a chance for one massive up in a Champions League final. So I'm going to quickly look back to the chat to see what people are saying in terms of goalkeepers. Adam H. White, that would be so good if Mulholland and Scrambler mix haha unstoppable. Of course. I'm guessing Tom Mulholland and Graham Scrambler. If you're watching either of you two, yes, I do know who you are because Adam never shuts up about you, but as a man that can back the Spitfires, as a fan of Spitfires, I hope you enjoy what you're watching right here. If you're new, subscribe, please do. Follow me on Twitter. I think I follow both of you already, possibly, but yeah, imagine a mixture of Mulholland and Scrambler. Unreal. Bamboo, hello Harrison Beard. Joe Lumley, another Rangers fan here, another Oops fan, no doubt. Joe Lumley, gets his plaudits. Maybe not Premier League, not yet. So that's what's news. Who are these players, Adam H. White? This is Premier League only. Yeah, Adam White, sort it down. Don't tell someone to pipe down. Just have a bit of fun. Oh, wait. This is all getting out of hand. What's going on? Chris Hughes, where's your Arteta money? I don't know where the Arteta money is. Chris, can you do me a favour? Can you share this link to Reese? Get him on it. Because I've asked him this question for years. He can't answer it. He might still be upset about the Raptors beating the 76ers in the Eastern Conference semi-finals. Eastern Conference semi-finals. He might be still upset about that. So who knows? But yeah, link him. Get him involved. Get more people involved as me. To all of you watching, share this. Throw it out there. Retweet it. Everything. Let's get this going. I want to hear from everyone. So ladies can't even beat Bournemouth ladies. GBW, come on. That's just rude, isn't it? Unbelievable. For goodness sake. I'm sure Varsity was a very thrilling occasion and it was a good game, I'm sure, as I heard from Adam H. White. Jordan Pickford should have sparked him. Maybe he should have, Southern Sports News. I couldn't agree more. Maybe he should have. That would have sorted out Well, maybe he shouldn't have. I think in terms of the long run, probably better he didn't. You know, I wouldn't want to see Jordan Pickford get a lengthy ban and a fine of that. I wouldn't want his career to be summed up in that way. He's too good for that. So I'm like, yeah, Adam, where's your £1 million sports complex? I can't believe that. This is just about a bit of context, but of course, I went to Solent University for 4 years, part of the sport journalism course, and then the sport broadcast journalism master's course. Had an amazing time there, and then I see as I'm leaving, they're opening a new sports complex. I would have loved to have filmed some content in there, or just be able to go in it and just see it and just go about. Maybe get some lectures in there, or just find a room in there just to play Sporkle on. Anything of the latter, just heading on in there would have been good. But so that, you know, fair play to him. It's a very impressive looking sports complex, which I saw through 97-98 Productions. It's a good news piece. Shout out. John Stones, best goalkeeper. Why not? Why not? What a man. John Stones, in the words of GBW, marriage, put it that way. What a player he is. Lloris could win World Cup and Champions League as captain. How many goalkeepers have done that? Genuine question. That's a very fair question. I'm a big fan of Hugo Lloris. Lloris. It's a very good question. There's definitely not going to be that many that have won both the World Cup and Champions League as skipper. So good fact. Do let me know as well who you're rooting for in the Champions League final, Liverpool or Spurs. Do let me know in the chat as we go through. Good question, Tom. It was a good question, Tom, if it was you, or whoever it was. If it was you, Tom, good question. Right, so we've gone through goalkeepers. Of course, we're going to be showing at the very end, as a bit later, who I picked to go between the 6 teams. Now we move on to defenders. Liverpool, of course, as Adam H. White. Of course, Arsenal fan doesn't want Tottenham to win. That's fair enough. Okay, so get ready for it. Transition, yeet. There it is. Defenders. Who deserves a place in this team this season? Here's a list of them. We'll move over to my statistics when it comes to defenders, as we'll head back over. Thanks to myself as journalist, I can't reveal, but come on, Liverpool. Poor Spurs. They just, they can't get the backing. I remember people talking about it beforehand. People were saying, imagine if it was a Spurs-Liverpool final. And a lot of football fans were begging for an Ajax-Barcelona final. But here we are now. It's the Peter Crouch final. Up the Crouch. Are we cheering for a we to live? Are we cheering for a will to live? I can't believe I said we. Cheering for a will to live and Liverpool lesser of two evils. Cody in defence, controversial. Connor Cody, he's on the list. He is on the list for a matter of reasons. We'll start with him. Connor Cody. Interesting fact: he's played every single minute of Premier League football this season. Been involved in every game and played every minute, 90 minutes onwards for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who finished 7th, their best Premier League finish. He could be very instrumental to that. Didn't get any goals or assists throughout the year, but 7 clean sheets to his name, same as Rui Patricio. So simple maths you can do in your head shows that any time they got a clean sheet, Cody and Patricio were on the job doing what they do. So fair play to both of them. Chris Hughes, Robertson, VVD, Laporte, and Trent. Anything else is wrong. I like that. I like that confidence. I do appreciate that. You'll be seeing later on if they are my picks. We'll see. Moving on again. Adam H. White, Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Laporte, Robertson. Same as Chris Hughes. Adam H. White and Chris Hughes say hello to each other. You're both on the same wavelength. Hazard149, Mustafi, Young, Jones, Bamba. You're right. Okay. I know what Zer's like. He's having a little bit of a laugh. So yeah, I'm not disputing that they are talented footballers. Of course, they're better than me. Of course they are, but they haven't. None of them four have had the best season for them. Put it that way. I thought he was a midfielder, but fair play. He is the Scouse Mo Farah. Can't be denied. I love it. Also, yes, TAA, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Aymeric Laporte, and Andrew Robertson. And again, EC, VVD, TAA, Andy Robbo, and Laporte. Guys, what's happening? Everyone's agreeing. Either it's that clear, or there's just good vibes going on here. I like this. This is a good vibes chat. 8 of us watching right now. Again, share it more with your friends. If you're new here, do subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, which I'll show you right here. Get ready for a transition. Bam! At @Baldry_. Follow it. Baldry_ Instagram. Hit me up. That sounds a bit weird. Just follow it. Follow me. Why the heck not? Here we are. Back to defenders. So, let's go through it. Let's start with the 4 that everyone's been saying. Okay, we'll start with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool right back. What a player! Honestly, as a fan of a team that isn't in the Premier League, it's good. It's helped because I can be much more neutral when it comes to it, especially. And I like that when I'm a big England fan. I've always been a big supporter of them, but I've got much more belief in them now after performances we saw in Russia and what was going on there. So I'm very happy and just so just relieved to see these young players coming through like Trent. I think that he in the future will be at least 60 caps for England minimum, unless, touch wood, something horrific happens in this injury and his career is shortened or dealt a lot of blows to by injury. But no, he definitely has quality, and that being shown by 12 assists and 12 clean sheets. 12 assists for a fullback is mad. It's the most out of any defender this season, believe it or not. Not hard. With the 1 goal, 12 clean sheets, of course, because at points, I believe, don't put money on it. So I can't remember. I think it may have been Joe Gomez that would be rotating with him at right back, or James Milner. They probably chucked him there a few times. It could be likely. EC, Liverpool fan, or Kevin, if you're watching, who would be at right back if it wasn't Trent? Do let me know. And I say 12 assists is a lot for a fullback. So is 11. Do you know who got that? Left back for Liverpool, Andrew Robertson, like everyone's been saying. No goals for him, but 19 clean sheets. He's played more than Trent this year. And 19 clean sheets is incredible, and with 11 assists. Now, for the man who's not stuck between the two, he's happy to be there, who's stood in between the two. Virgil van Dijk, PFA Player of the Year. 4 goals, 2 assists, not bad, 20 clean sheets. He has been a revelation for them. There's no debate about it. He has been superb. A lot of people have been debating whether at points of season or right now, is he the best defender in the world? He's up there. He's up in that group. There's a select few of them that can't be denied. They're all up there. They are all competing for that top spot. There's a number of him, but of course he has as much to say as any of them. And I would definitely admit that at points this year, he has been the best defender in the world. No doubt about it. And for the other centre-back of Manchester City, Aymeric Laporte. 3 goals, 3 assists, but we don't focus on that. 18 clean sheets. He has been superb. I believe out of all defenders for City, he has played the most minutes. He's been so influential, along with Ederson being massive reasons that they've been keeping as many clean sheets as they have this year. Okay, we're going to head over, transition to the main chat. What people have been saying. Zerb been saying, I think the 4 everyone is saying is correct. Cody, Digne, and Wan-Bissaka would be next, in my opinion. No doubt, 3 very good players as well, that they have their right to be on this as well as we take a look through them. So we'll start with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. 3 assists, no goals, but 12 clean sheets. His stats, if you're looking at Premier League website in terms of interceptions and tackles, he's been superb. Another player I can see doing a lot for the Three Lions later in life. He deserves, I think, any other season where Trent wasn't as unreal as he was and playing as well as he's done, then Wan-Bissaka would have been in there, no doubt. Connor Cody, we've already mentioned. Let's go through the rest of the list. Nathan Ake was in the shortlist for the BBC Sport article. 4 goals, no assists, 10 clean sheets. Fair play to him. I mean, Ake is a player that has been around for a while. Of course, that he was at Chelsea for many years, brought up through their youth, wasn't really given many opportunities, but eventually he joined another team in Bournemouth, and Bournemouth, what a signing he was for them and how well he's been doing. And it goes to show he's only going to keep getting better and better. And that's how I can see Bournemouth being as well. I can just see them keep getting better and better. There's no doubt about it. Also in the shortlist, there was Antonio Rudiger, Chelsea defender, 1 goal, no assists, 11 clean sheets. It's been a funny year for Chelsea, but Rudiger has definitely played his best football for Chelsea, I'd say. at points this year. When he first joined, it was all up in the air. People were a bit on the fence with him, but he's been one of the actual standout players for them this year. I think it'd be fair to say. If you're a Chelsea fan, watch this, do let me know if you agree with that, or is he still got room to grow? Of course, still got room to grow. Rate his performance this season. Do let me know. Toby Alderweireld was also in the shortlist. Tottenham haven't had. No, fair to them. They have had a good year, I'd say. Champions League final. They have, of course, in any other season where City and Liverpool wouldn't be as dominant as they would have been, they probably would have been more in the title race than they have been. Alderweireld, 12 clean sheets, as you'd expect from a well-drilled Tottenham side. Ben Chilwell, another good young English player who's getting plenty of first-team football with Leicester City, and a team that next year I could see doing much better than this year with a full tenure with Brendan Rodgers. And who knows what lengths they could go to. Let's see what they can do with it. So Ben Chilwell, 4 assists, 10 clean sheets. He's another player that I could hopefully see doing more for England in the future. Fabian Schär of Newcastle United. Now he's a player that I can't remember when it was. It was watching a Europa League game or Champions League game a few years ago. He played for Basel, and people were talking about his class then, and they were right. He was so composed as a player, and he was one of them rare occasions where you come across goal-scoring defenders. For Basel, he was a regular goal scorer. I think he took like free kicks and penalties for them. We've seen with Newcastle, he can score. He scored 4 goals. Not bad for a defender, but some of the goals he scored, oh my word. One in particular where he just absolutely rogered it from, 35 yards? It was disgraceful. It honestly was disgracefully good. 7 clean sheets to his name, not too bad. Jan Vertonghen, only the 1 goal this season, 5 clean sheets. He's been a bit in and out, so I was confused as to why he was featured in the selection in the article. Good player, but not been playing his best this season. Lucas Digne, who we mentioned earlier through Hazard, who was watching. Lucas Digne, he's had a good first season, can't be denied. 4 goals, 4 assists, 12 clean sheets. Of course, he's one of the players that we always thought before, of course, in the French league, not as competitive as Premier League, we can confirm. How would he do in the Premier League? He's done this well. He's done well. He's done very well, and I think he'll keep getting better. With an Everton side that will be looking to push on even more next year. If who knows what they'll aim for next year again. Kyle Walker as well, only the 1 goal, 1 assist, 17 clean sheets. He's just a terrific player, a terrific athlete, has to be said. And a big reason at points why City have done as well as they have. They've got such depth in their team, and Walker being an example of that. And finally, we also have Nicolas Otamendi, no goals or assists, but 9 clean sheets. He's been in and out, but when he's been playing, he has done his job without question. So they are the defenders that have been raised. The points have been made. Okay, so we're now going to go back to the chat, see what people have been saying. Roll on up. To be fair, Wamba Slam I thought was a funny little nickname from that you came up with, so I like that. I think we should call him that from now on. That's a very good you and your lot type of thing there. So many good vibes and elite football knowledge. So sports, I could not agree more. Inject. Wamba Slam autocorrect, mate, was funny, but you are correct. Cracking read. Boys, good vibes. It's what it is. It's good vibes. It's all it is. We love it. Absolutely love it. Inject into my veins at warp speed. Adam H. White, Spurs in the title race. Ah ha 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 ha. I mean, they were at points, to be fair to them. Not as much as any other season they would have been, because City and Liverpool have been a class above, but who knows? Will it be as one-sided or two-sided as it will be next year? Will it just be City, Liverpool going out for it? Or will any other likes of Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Spurs, will they be more competitive? Well, not more competitive, but like closer to them. Or will City and Liverpool just be as dominant as they were this year? Do let me know. Guessing Arsenal away form cost Socrates a place on the list. It must have been. That was one thing that, looking back, I thought maybe it was a bit unfair that he wasn't in it, because of course, like his first season with Arsenal, still getting used to everything, but he's been one of the standout factors defensively for them without a shadow of a doubt. It's one aspect that, of course, Arsenal fans have been talking to has been saying struggles with defence and depth because there's been a few injuries defensive-wise. But Socrates, when he's been fit and playing, he has been very good. By the way, we go for top fours now. Don't at us, Adam H. White. Ask. That's fair. So you don't want to go for tiles anymore, is what you're telling me. Is what you're telling me. Socrates, yeah. Don't worry. I know what you meant, sir. Having a mayor with autocorrect. Hate to see it. It could never be me. Adam H. I bet you spent so long writing out that message. I bet you double-checked it and triple-checked it to make sure there weren't anything like that. Mustafi has been wrongly shunned as well, so certain sports. I think, sadly, the fact that I giggled a bit when saying that says it all. He's not a bad player. He isn't. He has good potential to him, and he's been good in the past. I don't know what's been happening to him this year, but Turnstile comes to mind when it comes to Shkodran Mustafi. Shkodran. What's your Shkodran business? God's sake. Sure, you should get the banter vote. Harrison Beer Sloppy Bros deserves a mention. Shout out to Sloppy Bros. Shout out to Harrison Beer. You've been nominated for Premier League Defender Team of the Season. How do you feel? Alex Winter, another former Pompey player, should be up there. Viva Sloppy Bros. Winter would walk into Arsenal's back four disgust. Completely agree. Can we have Reader 2? Reader Johnson. Follow the Reader. Also, I think it'll be City and Liverpool for the next couple of seasons. That's very fair. I can see where you're coming from that. Not often do you see such imposing dominance from two sides and then for it to be gone the next season. So I think you could be right on that. Maybe the other teams will be getting better, but I would put money on it would be either City and Liverpool. That would be first and second, either or, again, next season as well. Mustafi is what Lovren was to Liverpool a couple of seasons ago. Lovren did have moments, oh my God, when he was first there. I remember this so well. It was in a massive game. Can't remember what sort of stage. It might have been a cup final at Wembley, and Liverpool really needed a goal and were desperate for it, and the ball came out and it was like 35 yards out. It came out to Lovren. He just took a touch and hit it and it went rosette. Well, just watching it, I just don't understand it. I do not understand it. He's done it a couple of times. He's guilty of a couple of occasions. I swear he's done it a few times, put it that way. So yeah, Mustafi could be getting better. We'll wait and see. So yeah, thank you for that. Defenders wise, we are pretty much sorted. I think everyone was people were finding it very easy to agree then with who the back four should be. So now we're going to quickly move on to midfielders. So get ready for it. Bang, transition. Here's the list of midfielders that BBC Sport shortlisted and who you could pick to be in your team of the season. So we're going to go through it. So if you see any names or even any names in particular you think should be in there, thrown in there, then do let me know in the chat. And just for throwing it out there, you might be realising that in this list and the next list with forwards, there'll be some players that you'd argue, no, they're more midfielder, no, they're more of a forward. I found it a bit confusing as well, so I just left it how it was. So there's going to be some players, for example, in this list, we'll just quickly name one Mane. People would look to him more as a forward than a midfielder, and for fair reason. So I'm just going to be leaving it as BBC Sport have put it. So that's one thing we can discuss going forward as well. So look to the chat. What have people been saying? Why is Dele Alli on this list? Good question, GBW. I'm a big fan of Dele Alli, but he's not had a great season so far. Only 5 goals and 3 assists for Dele this year. Hopefully we'll be seeing more from him next year. I'm sure there'll be Arsenal fans saying no. Hopefully we won't be. So that's very fair. That's very fair. But as an England fan like myself, I want to see him playing his best. Torreira. Fair point, Torreira. For some reason wasn't on the list. In terms of what he's done, I think, of course, he's not a player that would be going out to get goals and assists. He's much more of a workhorse in midfield. He'll be winning possession back and playing forward from there. For that, he does very well at. Can't be disputed. So interesting to see he wasn't even at least included on it when I went through it earlier. Yeah, why is Ali on there? Ha 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 ha. I just explained, Adam. I don't know why. He's a great player. He's still only 20. He's as old as me, honestly. I keep forgetting this. One thing I'll say about it is in the past, a lot of people fairly, because this opinion will be saying about how Dele Alli is overrated. I think media is so classic in that they'll hype up a player to be levels above they already are at the moment. I believe Ali can still be a fantastic class player on a very regular occasions. I think he still can. Because put it this way, he's 23. He's only 23. Some players, their prime will be mid-20s. 3 years' time until he's 26. How much a player can, with the backing they have at a club like Premier League club like Tottenham or anywhere else, in 3 years they can improve themselves so much, so I could still see him doing quite well. But yeah, in terms of him, what I expect from him, not a great season for him with only 5 goals and 3 assists. Sammy Shem, I have no idea what's going on. Sammy, grab a K-cider and just chill. That's all I'll say. Grab a K-cider and chill. Hope you're doing well, lad. Hopefully see you soon. Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Sadio Mane, says Adam H. White. If Mane is now midfielder. I think that's fair. We'll just go with that for now. Starting with Mane, 22 goals. Not bad. Joint top goal scorer with Mohamed Salah and Aubameyang. In terms of assists, only the one, which I found surprising. Only the one. I don't know why he's got so few, but only 1 assist. That's one thing that really... I struggled when it came to parts of my team this season, and I'm not saying if he isn't or not, but I had to have a good think about Mane for that reason. Of course, amazing goals record, but only 1 assist, which was what shocked me. I'm not saying he shouldn't be included in that, because 22 goals is still an amazing achievement, but that's why I had to think over it. Who else? Fernandinho, 1 goal and 3 assists, but of course he's just the general in that City midfield that when he's in it and he's playing his best, they're not losing a game. It's simple as that. Bernardo Silva, 7 goals, 7 assists. That is pretty decent for a player that doesn't always have first team football on lock, because this City team, they love to rotate a lot. Pep Guardiola is a big fan of rotation. Where's Højbjerg at, says Chris Hughes. Højbjerg, a very underrated midfielder, has to be said. Wasn't involved in the list. Couldn't say what he's done stats-wise, but I can't imagine be too many in terms of goals and assists, but his game is much more bigger than just getting goals and assists. I couldn't agree more on that. Hazard says Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Hazard and Mane. Hazard, another player that has been included in this area when it comes to midfielders that people would think, is he more of a forward? Eden Hazard, 16 goals, 15 assists. Mad. That is just an incredible return. I don't think anything else needs to really be said. Nothing more needs to be said in that light. So yeah, Eden Hazard, you'll see later on through mine. I wouldn't be surprised if he was in most of your team of the seasons. Southern Sports News says Fernandinho, Bernardo Silva, Mane will play a 4-3-3, and Adam H. White's pointing out to them, no Hazard. Hazard's goals and assists was almost 50% of Chelsea's total goals, to be fair. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me when he's scoring 16 and assisting 15. That probably would be around half what Chelsea have done this year. Pretty ridiculous return from the man. Will he stay at Chelsea? Do let me know. Do you think he'll still be at Chelsea next season? I think it was reports going out yesterday that he has... it's annoying. There's never a complete confirmation on it. There's people just saying, oh, yep, he said he's going. Oh, wait, he's not going. Because we've heard it many previous transfer windows before and many summer breaks before that. He's gone, but he's still there the next season. Special mention for Fraser for his start to the season. Not just his start, Adam White. You're very right, though. Ryan Fraser. This is a player that really deserves a lot of credit for the season. 7 goals, 14 assists for Bournemouth. What a season he has had. I've seen him be included in a few team of seasons my mates have put together, one being a friend of mine who's a Bournemouth fan. No bias at all, I don't blame him. Ryan Fraser has been superb this year and hopefully he just keeps getting better because it's great to see them smaller players, well, not literally smaller, he's 5 foot something. He's short compared to most other midfielders in the Premier League, but he has been superb this year, coming from smaller beginnings. I remember when he was on loan at Ipswich Town, of course, the team of my hometown. Like, I remember going to watch in a FA Cup game, or it was under 21 game a few years back, and he was on loan at Ipswich. And you could see there's potential there, just needed to sort it out, and he's done that, and he has been fantastic this season. So annoyingly, yeah, you might be right. Madness be kiss. Special mention to Rice for having the most edible name. You're not wrong. Declan Rice has played very well this season, really breaking into that West Ham side. 2 goals, no assists, but again, his play is much more based around general stats, not just goals and assists. I'll just say it for the sake of it, and I can see him only getting better as time goes on, whether it's a West Ham or a bigger club, because he's a player that has been eyed up by a few. Son had a good spell. He definitely did. Son Heung-min, 12 goals, 6 assists. Especially recently in Champions League, he won some big performances for Tottenham, and a very underrated player. Very underrated. My anti-Spurs agenda is making me not pick Son, to be fair, says Adam. Well, at least you're embracing it. You're realising that, and I applaud you for that. So well done. So let's just quickly go through rest of the players' features. So Felipe Anderson, no one has really said, for West Ham. 9 goals, 4 assists. He's played very well at points this season. Would he make it into your team this season? Now, this is one player coming up next that let's take a little break and let's think. So let's talk about it. Paul Pogba. Should he be in team of the season? Tell me instantly in the chat if you have any thoughts on Paul Labiel Pogba, World Cup winning Paul Pogba. Should he be in the team of the season for this year? Of course, Manchester United have been no short than Paul. They had a very good spell where he was unplayable. But other than that spell, it hasn't been setting the world alight to as well of a degree as we know he could. But he still has, from this season, most goals at Manchester United with 13 and most assists with 9. And in terms of midfielders, right out midfielders, because, of course, other than Hazard and Mane, Paul Pogba has the most goals out of any midfielder. Also, has quite a ridiculous amount of assists for a midfielder compared to others with 9. So 13 goals and 9 assists compared to everyone else that has been featured. Is that enough of a case? Or as the fact that a lot of times as well, he's gone missing? Let's head to the chat. Talk to me. That and the other 4 were better. Moutinho and Neves deserve a place on the list. Yep, they've both been playing very well. No doubt about that. They deserve a lot of praise. They've done a lot for the fact how well Wolves have done. Poor Pogba, says Southern Sports News. Adam says, no, he should not. Had good spell when Ollie came in, but then he got fed up again. Of course, he has the talent that he can be one of the best in the world, but just was not consistent enough. I agree. I do agree. In terms of consistency, nowhere near enough. Nowhere near. But yeah, he's been the best of a bad bunch in terms of performances this season, says Southern Sports News. Yep, you're right. In terms of bad bunch at United, he has been the best. But still at the same time, he's still done more than other midfielders that have played, apparently, that have had some of their best seasons. Which really, it opens up this whole possible debate of whether or not this is him showing class by being poor and not being his best, yet still bringing home these returns. Yet he hasn't been playing near his best. So do let me know what you think about Paul Pogba. We'll carry on. David Brooks of Bournemouth had a cracking breakthrough season. 7 goals and 5 assists. He really has been standout for them. Moving on, Kevin De Bruyne still on the list for some reason, even though he's been injured most of it and only mustered up 2 goals and 2 assists. Unbelievable player. Don't get me wrong, one of the best midfielders in the world, but I wouldn't put him in team this season. No. He hasn't had enough a chance to play or to prove it. So I wouldn't have De Bruyne in mind. Abdoulaye Doucouré of Watford, he's had a very good season. 5 goals and 6 assists for a player that predominantly is very well known for being a holding midfielder. He's almost a carbon copy of in terms of his play style, like a Yaya Toure. Knowing his skill level, not yet. It could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but he saw that similar style of player. He's big, he's powerful, he's good on the ball, and with 5 goals and 6 assists, he shows that he can perform with it. Moving on, Christian Eriksen, 8 goals and 12 assists, which is mad to think because he's one player that it's fair to say you haven't really heard too much of at points this year, yet he still brought home these numbers of 8 goals and 12 assists. Fabinho with only 1 goal and 2 assists, but he's done much more than that for that Liverpool side, been a big reason as to why they've done as well as they have. Ryan Fraser already mentioned, Eden Hazard again. James Maddison, debut season in the Premier League with Leicester City, he has been fantastic. 7 goals, 7 assists, only going to get better, no doubt about that. He has been fantastic. Would he be in your team this season? Do let me know. Leroy Sané, Man City, 10 goals, 10 assists. Very underrated this year. Once again, an amazing player. If it wasn't a side like City where there's much more rotation, then he'd be a start. He'd one of the players that would no doubt be the first name on the team sheet, no doubt, for years to come. So much youth on his side and so much skill level. He is a cracking player, is Leroy Sané. Can't be said enough. Gylfi Sigurdsson, 13 goals, 6 assists. Everton's top joint goal scorer, Richarlison. Just a very underrated player once again. I think in the past people have questioned whether or not in big occasions he may go missing, but that's up for debate. But it shows that he will bring returns. 13 goals, 6 assists. Very good player is Gylfi Sigurdsson. Son Heung-min, we've already mentioned, 12 goals, 6 assists. And Gigi Wijnaldum was also mentioned in the list. Now, he hasn't been constantly in the starting lineup for Liverpool. He's played a fair bit for them. For only 3 goals, no assists. But again, he's played much more ahead of these stats, like with how he's helped the team be as good as they have been. So let's quickly look back to the chat. Fair play to James. Maddison deserves a shout, to be fair, say Silent News. And Adam, yep, he's been cracking. Only player to create 100 chances this season. Good stat. That is a very good stat. That shows Maddison's quality. Maddison to Arsenal, Adam. Would you take him? I would. Adam H. White says, should be ahead of Ali in England pecking order, IMO. That is very fair to say that. If we could, I'd like to have both, because I know both can perform, no doubt. Ali hasn't as much as he could this year, but Maddison definitely deserves to be getting some time in the England shirt. Peter, why did you leave the party? My PlayStation must have just gone to sleep mode, Elliot. EC. That's what I'm guessing you're on about anyway. And yes, I would indeed, Thomas. I agree, Adam. You love to see it, boys. You love to see it. Good vibes. Gini Wijnaldum is the people's champion. Such a happy fella. He is. You can't hate him. He's a cracking man. Like a very good footballer. Very good footballer, no shadow of a doubt. So now we're going to move on again to this is where I think we're going to get a lot of big debates on who should be in it or not. Or maybe not, because it could be another case of people just finding it so easily to agree. Now we're moving on to forwards. Who should be in the Premier League team this season? So get ready for transition. And there it is. Here is the list of forwards that were shortlisted on the BBC Sport article about team of the season. If any stand out to you, shout out. Put it in the chat. Just spam it. Not spam, actually, because I'm just going to Adam H. White type Alba about 20 times. So, yeah. So do let me know in the chat what you think about forwards. Going forward, tell me what you think. So, Sports News, juicy debate time. Couldn't agree more. This is where people get very animated when it gets to the goal scorers. Who should be there, who shouldn't be? Do let me know. Has149 jumps in straight away with Laka, Albert and Sterling. Lacazette, Aubameyang, Raheem Sterling. Very fair. All three have had very good seasons. Very good seasons. Although made easier with Hazard and Mane in midfield. Not wrong. You're not wrong, Certain Sports News. Maybe that's why BBC Sport put them two in the midfield position. Because people might struggle too much with that fact, because they're just great players and there's such a good amount of players that one will be missing out that really shouldn't be. Maybe that could be why. Hazard says, nah, Albert and Sterling. Oh, okay, so taking out Lacazette. Okay, I see. So we'll be playing two up front instead. It's true, to be fair, because you can be picking your very own formation. The formation that I have is a little spoiler, is coming up after this will be 4-3-3. So feel free to pick 3 if you want to. Adam H. White, I put 4 midfield, so 2 up front would be Albert and Sterling. That's very fair. Couldn't agree more than that. They've both had cracking seasons. Sterling, Albert, Salah. Yeah. All 3 again. The same names being mentioned as usual. Although I rate Laka more, weird one, but I have reasons. You fancy him, mate. Let's be honest here. Have you said on the topic? Did you see the video of him licking his lips at that female reporter? What was he doing? It was after he scored in the Europa League game, that amazing free kick. Can't remember who he was against, but yeah, he was. I saw on Twitter, and it was like Laka's trying to risk it all, and it just was him like looking to get that je ne sais quoi working with the female reporter. So yeah, moving on back to the chat. EC, where's Origi, the GOAT, best player ever? He's a game winner, can't deny it, but I'm not too surprised that he isn't on this list, put it that way. Origi is the GOAT. It's fair debate. EC knows. He's got drip. I did. You saw it. Napoli keep what? All right. I don't care about your BTEC competition. No, I can't say that. We won the Checker trade, so I can't call Europa League BTEC. Dion Lisso, Richarlison. A very good point, though. This is one thing I realised as well. Richarlison, I said earlier, joint top goal scorer for Everton with Sigurdsson on 13 goals. Yet he's not there. Deeney is there. Deeney's not had a bad season, 9 goals and 5 assists, but Richarlison scored more and I believe assisted more. So interesting the fact that he missed out for some reason. For no idea why, to say the least. Chaz Austin asks GBW, just hasn't been his year. Next year, we'll see, maybe. Just for that press conference, it must have been. Just watch it. Just for that press conference, that's the only reason why. Big Lacquer. Or Big Deeney, whoever you're on about. But yeah, interesting as to why Deeney features over Richarlison. They should both be featuring, to be fair to both of them. So, let's go for a list. One player that I think people might have been overlooking, actually. Interestingly, no one has said Sergio Aguero. I'm not saying you're wrong, but talk to me. Sergio Aguero, should he be in Team of the Season? Well, now I'm joking. Of course I can't hear you. You're probably shouting at your screen at home. 21 goals, 8 assists. Madness. And it's what we're getting used to. Maybe the reason people aren't picking him more is because they're just used to Aguero doing that. That people are just so used to him doing that. Maybe is he being overlooked, which I can't believe I'm saying. Is Sergio Aguero being overlooked and underrated almost? It's one that it's weird to even think about. But a lot of people are seeming to be having him miss out. But who knows? Incredible player, no matter of a doubt. A few more questions coming in. Why is Rashford there? A good question. I'm a big fan of Rashford, but it hasn't been his best season. 10 goals and 6 assists isn't bad, but compared to other names on the list, really, I wouldn't be picking him ahead of the others. Definitely future star, no shadow of a doubt, but I hope he just keeps getting better. But again, this season, he had good moments, but it was just a bad season all for Manchester United. Has to be admitted. That is interesting. Either the fact Rashford's there or my point about Aguero. Very fair point. Both be interesting. Tough one between Alba and Aguero. Not going to lie. Both have had very good seasons. Can't deny it. Can't deny it, Adam. He should expect to get those numbers, to be fair. I exactly agree, Solar Sports News, or Tom, Tom who's messaging through the account. Yeah, he is expected that. He is that pedigree, and it just isn't a surprise. It really isn't. He's expected to get those numbers, to be fair. Took the words out of my mouth. Rate Aguero highly, but Sterling and Alba better this year, says, yeah, that's very fair enough. Kane is on the list, slanty face. Now, this is what surprised me as well. I was surprised for 2 reasons. The first one was the fact he was there, but he's missed a lot because of injury. And then I looked at his return. He's level on goals with Sterling. 17 goals, despite how much he's missed. And I think it's fair just to have him on the list. If you're going to be putting on the likes of Callum Wilson, then Harry Kane should just be on the list. I wouldn't pick him into mine, but I think it's fair enough that he'll be on the list. But I was surprised at the amount of goals that he really came up with, despite the time he had out. That is what really confused me, to put it that way. So 17 goals and 4 assists for Harry Kane. I'm just going to quickly check something on stats as well. Because another player that has seemed to be missed out that Zerge mentioned just now is Joshua King. He scored 12 goals this season for Bournemouth. And in terms of other stats, 12 goals, 3 assists. So he's done well. I wouldn't say better than Kane. For Bournemouth, it's still good to get them numbers. He's, of course, been very influential to them and has helped them win a lot of games, no shadow of a doubt. But I think Josh King should have been on this list as well. I agree with that. He should have been on it. No doubt about that. Special mention for Jimenez and Jota. Yep, no doubt. I think it's fair that they would be added to the list. They've both had good seasons. Jimenez, 13 goals, 7 assists. Jota, 9 goals, 5 assists. Not setting the world alight, but they're doing well at a smaller club like Wolves. When I say smaller club, they're on the up. No doubt about it. However, 3 other players were top scorers. So in terms of scoring goals as a forward, are there 3 better players than him this season? It's a very fair point, Tom. Very fair point. BBC Love Spurs has a... Maybe they do, Adam. Maybe they do. You could be right. But in my opinion, I think it's fair that he's on the list. Not saying he should be up there, but it's fair he'll be on the list. Up the Wolves, they've been class. Definitely so. Josh King and Harry Kane, they both had good seasons. I'm sure Kane wish he could have done more after having injuries at points throughout. Oh yeah, saw something like King outscored Rashford for the third season in a row. He did, can confirm that I saw. Josh King in them statistics, I believe, did play around 8 or 9 games more than Rashford in most of the seasons, and in terms of goals, it was not too many more. I don't want to look, I'm defending Rashford, but I don't want this stat to go ahead and people to say, oh, Rashford is trash or whatever. No, not the case. Called King. I don't want people to think I'm underrating King either. He's a very good player as well. But maybe he's very underrated. The fact he's outscoring players like Rashford. So do let me know what you think about it. Llorente, Fulham's best striker. I like that, sir. You confused me at first, but then I realised, oh yeah. But moving on. Back to the list. Best thing to stick to is the list. Okay, so Sterling is on there. 17 goals, 10 assists. He has been incredible this season. What a player and what a man he has been. He's been an absolute fantastic ambassador for English football this season. Can't be disputed. Troy Deeney, we mentioned before, is on the list. 9 goals and 5 assists. Bobby Firmino's on the list. 12 goals and 6 assists. Of course, he is very influential for Liverpool going forward. He's a massive, massive part of them going forward. They've shown they can still do it without him. Not saying they don't need him, but they can live without him if they bring in the likes of Origi or even Sturridge into the mix as well. When Salah and Mane are on form as they have been this year, then if Firmino's out for a few games, they'll still be able to get the job done. Rashford there with 10 goals and 6 assists. Hibbers 13 and 7, Jota 9 and 5. Lacazette is on the list as well, 13 goals and 8 assists. Not bad for him this year, not bad at all. Jamie Vardy on there once again, 18 goals and 4 assists. I saw this. It's something that you want to check out, definitely, if you're a football fan. Look at Leicester's goals this season. Who scored their goals? Because you will be absolutely shocked in the distance between their top scorer in Vardy and their second top goal scorer. I'm going to look it up now again. And oh my God, it's ridiculous. Going forward, it's fair to say they might need more goal scorers. Of course, their second highest goal scorer is the player we mentioned as Maddison on 7. Vardy's on 18. All the rest of the players are below. Harry Maguire and Wes Morgan are tied for their are tied in 4th because they've scored 3 goals with Yuri Tielemans and Demarai Gray has 4 goals to him. So mad to think that Harry Maguire is 4th, tied on 4th with Wes Morgan for goals scored for Leicester this season. It's fair to argue they would want more goals going forward. Of course, they can't always rely on Vardy. It's never safe to be relying just on one man, which it appears they have been a bit. GBW, don't swear in the chat, Zert. Very fair. Of course, a big QPR fan. Doesn't like Fulham. Simple as that. Why did Iozi, Perez and Alexander Mitrovic get in terms of goals and assists? Very fair point. Let me check that actually. Perez and Mitrovic. I'm going to quickly reset filters and have a little look. So it starts with Newcastle. Iozi Perez scored 12 goals this season. Not bad at all. Not bad at all for him. He's been one of the players that has been given a bit of stick in the past as one that isn't always performing too much. But 12 goals and 2 assists, so not bad for Perez. Mitrovic and Fulham. He's the top goal scorer with 11 goals. Not bad for a club that really would rather see the back end of the season and hopefully sort it out next year as they're heading down. 11 goals and 3 assists for Mitrovic, so not too bad. Not bad at all. And back to the list and see what else people have been saying. Queen's Park Rangers at GBW, epic win. Woland, Warts, Woos, nothing but dubs, hell yeah. Good vibes again as always. You love to see it. You really do. Carrying on with the list, Callum Wilson, 14 goals, 9 assists. Another player that's really performed well for Bournemouth this year. They've had a fairly decent year. And Wilfried Zaha, 10 goals and 5 assists. Not bad at all in a Crystal Palace side that finishing comfortably mid-table again. So we've gone through strikers. We've had a fair amount of people saying names along the likes of Alba, Salah, Sterling. Not too many saying Aguero, but of course when brought up upon, people were arguing, yep, it's fair debate for Aguero. Now, I think it's only fair now that we look into the actual team of the season that I quickly put together earlier. Now, as I said before, this is a mixture. It's a mixture of things I picked, and it's areas I was a bit unsure on. I can't lie, I looked to the stats. So there might be a couple ones that you will debate with, which is more than fair enough. It will say my team of the season. I'll take part responsibility for it, because there was parts of it I just couldn't pick, and I thought I want to do this stream, so I didn't want to waste time. So I just headed on and just threw in names. So do let me know. In terms of position, there's a couple of positions or players in positions that you'll be like, if this is a real team, midfield might struggle. Put it that way. You'll see what I mean. This is going to be controversial, I can tell. Yeah, I'm blagging. I just know, because for one particular reason, people are going to absolutely flip desks, and you'll see why. Put it that way. So in sports news, we love a stat man. Who doesn't? Shout out to Statman Dave and Shane Long before game week 34. What a man! What a player. Okay, so we might as well load it up. Is everyone ready? I think you are. Okay, so here we go. Transition. Bang. There. Okay. Before we publicly hang me, let's start off. Goalkeeper and defence-wise, I completely agreed with every single one of you. Nothing wrong with that defence. Easiest, simple. Can't even begin to explain how easy it was putting that defence together. Alisson in goal. Yes. Alexander-Arnold. Yes. Van Dijk. Yes. Laporte. Yes. Robertson. Yes. Simple as that. I won't have another word on it. 4 Liverpool players in the back four. Only 1 City player. That is exactly how it should be. Not going to change my mind. Check to the chat. Well, I mean, says it all really. Let's just go back to main with chat so you can see it as well. And that's Aguero midfield. Sadly not. Pogba. Fuck. Whatever that says. Pogba. Oh, chat going crazy. Wait, Stone was part of the attackers. I know. I do apologise, Adam. I cheated. Pogba, Peter, words, cheat. Oh, boys. I know. It's... Connor, I just done that on stream. As I explained before, I did cheat on this. I did cheat when it came to Sterling. I can't lie, and for a reason being, I struggled, and I can't lie, I completely forgot. Let's head back to it. My team of the season. So head into midfield. So here we have Paul Pogba, Raheem Sterling, and Eden Hazard. Pogbout. How is Pogba in there? Bernardo Silva. This is what I'm saying. Bernardo Silva has had, arguably, you could say, a very good season. Pogba still got more goals and assists, which is what shocks me. And I know you could say he's just the best of a bad bunch. He still needs to do it. You still need to be scoring them goals and tallying up them assists. Of course, Pogba plays more regularly for United than Silva does for Man City. A big fan of Bernardo Silva. I wouldn't put him in team this season. I'm a big fan of him, but I wouldn't. Raheem Sterling, I ended up moving back to midfield for a certain reason you might realise. Sadly, there's no Sadio Mane. Which, I'm pretty sure, looking back there now, I could have sworn I did put Mane in. So I'm not trying to backtrack. I'm now quite confused. I have no idea what has gone on here, because, as I said before, even despite the fact he only got 1 assist, 22 goals, you can't sniff at that. So that's why I looked at him. That might be why. That could be why. Looking at it now, I think it should be Mane in there ahead of Pogba. Pogba only filled in because of I was unsure of who to be fitting in when I wanted to be getting this out. But in argument, Pogba, stats-wise, is a worthy candidate. Should he actually be there or not, it's a completely different picture. It's a very, very different picture. Mane, of course, I think in reality should be there. But it's so hard, like you were saying before, with how players were being listed as a midfielder, but they're really well more known as a forward, etc. sort of thing. Moving on, Raheem Sterling is there, of course, 17 goals, 10 assists. He had to be in team of the season. It just for reasons with the front three. I just thought I'll be dropping him back there instead of one of them three. Hazard has to be in there. how many goals and assists again? 16 goals, 15 assists, as Tom pointed out earlier. Thank you, Tom. About 50% of Chelsea's goal this season, he's been included in. He has been nothing short of sensational. Before we head to the forwards, let's head back to the chat, see what it's been saying. People questioning it, calling me a cheat. Yeah, I can't lie. Fernandinho, Mane, Bernardo. That's fair enough. Yeah, very fair selection. Bernardo Silva over Pogba any day. It's fair. Talk to me. Why Silva over Pogba? I'm intrigued. I do agree with that. Silva is a very fair candidate. How is Pogba in there? Pogbout. Bernardo Silva, Fernandinho? Question mark. In terms, I think because I wanted to get this out and I didn't want to be just represented on me, that's why parts of it wasn't fully my selection. I just went with what the stats were saying. That is why Pogba is featuring in there. Hashtag Wenger out says, oof, stats don't lie. It's very true. Peter, thanks for the memories, but it's time to say goodbye. I don't know what I'm laughing at more, the fact that's funny, or the fact Adam just called me Peter. That feels weird. Hear the man out, Adam. Bernardo Silva nominated for Team of the Year, Player of the Year, Pogba not. That's very fair, EC. That's very fair indeed. Can't remember if that was for by the players or journalists covering the game. It might have been for either, but that's a very fair point as to why he should be in there. Wait, no, Mane. Goodbye, Peter. No, I do apologise, Tom and Soapsport. I did want to be putting in there for some why he's not. Picture that imagine he's in there instead of Pogba. Everyone would be happy. That's how I would have had it. But I panicked and just went to the stats. Mane should have been in there. It just, like we were saying before, the amount of forwards that have been just so incredible this year, it's so hard to pick. And that's why also, for some reason, I managed to put Sterling in as midfield. To be fair, on the actual BBC Sport article, he was listed, there were some players that I put in both the midfielder and forwards category, but I didn't put their name twice because I would have found, people might have found that annoying. So that's why I just moved him back here. Hear the man out, Tom. Thank you, Adam. Manager of the year. That is a good question. Do tell me who your manager of the year is. Do let me know in the chat. I want to see people's suggestions. But until I look back at that, let's look back at, when it comes to the forward view. No, my team this season more like. We had a front three of Mohamed Salah, who has had 22 goals and 8 assists, joint top goal scorer, including 8 assists. That is a fantastic return. Most assists out of the 3 players that tied for Golden Boot. In the middle, Sergio Aguero, 21 goals and 8 assists. Despite it being expected of him, it's outstanding. That's why I believe he should be there. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. At points, it's been a bit of a weird one feeling for Aubameyang. When I think back to him, there's not really too many moments that stand out. Of course, in the North London derbies, moments like that stand out, and he scored some real nice goals and a number of goals for Arsenal with 22, but nothing truly stands out. But I think that's because there's been such a high calibre of performances this year for forwards in the Premier League. That's why I think that has been... It's not too hard to overlook him, but he would make it into my team of the season with the performances he's put in, with 22 goals and 5 assists. Now, if we look back to what the chat's been saying, new formation 4-1-5. We might have to. I can't lie. Adam H. White says Pep. Zer says Nuno or Pep. Got to be done on success, I guess so, Pep. But Klopp gives better hugs. Tom resisting the urge to vote for Klopp, says Adam. In my opinion, it's a tough one. On the top of my head, I would just go based on success. So I would say Pep Guardiola. Yeah. When you win the Premier League, you earn 98 points. I think just facts like that are to why he should be manager of the year. But do let me know who you think is manager of the year if you think differently. Tom says, Adam, you are correct in regards to that. So just a quick run through again my team this season. We'll tell you what, we'll cross out Pogba, but I'd say he deserves to have a mention of it. In my opinion, he deserves to be up for nomination within it. So goal, we have Alisson. Defence of Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Laporte and Robertson. Midfield, we'll cross out Pogba and have Mane in there, which my first plan was to have. So Raheem Sterling, Eden Hazard, then up front, Mohamed Salah, Sergio Aguero and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. If you haven't already, please do quickly chuck into the chat your team this season. I'm pretty sure they're fairly similar in terms of defence and forward. Midfield has been very different to what people have been putting throughout the stream. Pogba can be on the Pog bench, says Tom through Solo Sports News. I like it. I do agree. It'd be fair to put him there. And do let me know throughout that. We've discussed in a couple bits, but do let me know in particular that any players that you think have been hard done by that haven't even got a nomination, or do you think that they really could be within a shout to be within the actual starting 11? Do let me know. So we'll just be looking to wrap up the stream shortly. So just any final points we want to be making, then do let me know as we load up the chat once again. You can see everything that everyone's been saying. Last being Pogba can be on the Pog bench. But overall, I hope you've all enjoyed this stream. I really have. It's been a very good discussing one. A lot to discuss, to put it that way. If you haven't already, please do follow me on Twitter at @Baldry_. Do follow me on Instagram at @Baldrake_. And please, if you haven't already, just subscribe to the channel, Peter Baldry. I'll be looking to rebrand it a bit probably in future dates if I'm doing more stuff with this, so I just don't have as my name, I have it as something else. If you have any suggestions of what to change the name of the channel to, then do let me know. I'm still in the process of deciding what to change it to, as well as I'm in the process of still working on the next I say last week in football, it's not going to be last week in football, it'll be last 3 weeks or last month, so it'll be Elmif or L-Twiff. Yeah, it would be. Elmif or L-Twiff. We'll see what happens. Like and subscribe and notifications on. Thank you, Tom. Solo Sports News. Thank you very much. Other things coming in. Hashtag Peter for EXO. Oh, God, I would love that so much. If anyone has True Geordie's number or Lozcast's number, just hit them up. I would do a lot to work for them. Solo Sports News, Alisson, Trent, Virgil van Dijk, Laporte, Robbo, Mane, Fernandinho, Sterling, Salah, Aguero, Alba. That's a good team. Oh, breaking news! Where's the bell? I need an alarm for stuff like this. I'll tell you what, bear with me. I need something to signify when there's breaking news and I know exactly what to be using. Get ready for it. You know what that siren means, boys and girls? We got breaking news! What is it? From Adam H. White. Griezmann leaving, confirmed in capital letters, just tweeted. Don't end the stream, shouts. Breaking news from Solo Sports News. Breaking! Does Brexit mean Brexit? Of course it does. It always meant Brexit. Let's not get into that. But so, it's just been announced. Antoine Griezmann leaving. He's leaving Atletico Madrid. Well, of course he plays for them. Where else would he be leaving? I'm an absolute numpty. Where's he going to go then? Where on earth could he? Could it be a Premier League move? Could he be looking to move to the Prem? That's what first thoughts would be. Would he join another team in the league? Would he join Barca or Real? I could see him being one of the players. He would go to Real Madrid. Griezmann would go to Real Madrid. Zer thinks Barca. I could see that. It'd be interesting to see if they did, how would they be sorting out their front three? Of course, you have to have Messi. He's the GOAT. Luis Suarez, of course, he's still an incredible player. Didn't really get the job done when, of course, Liverpool had one of the greatest comebacks of all time at Anfield and managed to advance to the final of the Champions League. Coutinho sold to make room. That's a very fair point. People have been unsure about Coutinho at Barcelona for a while now. It's been rumored by a lot of people. He's an incredible player. But just for some reason, Barca fans haven't taken to him and he's done well, but I think it's unfair to judge him that he hasn't really got down and done what people really would have thought, though. Because he's an incredible player. You're not always going to set the world alight in your first season with FC Barcelona. It won't always happen. Not everyone can do it. Hazard to Madrid and Griezmann to Chelsea. Very underwhelming with it all. Yeah, Coutinho has been underwhelming at Barca, unfortunately. Yeah, Zer making the point. Chelsea transfer ban. At the moment, they won't be able to bring anyone in for the next 2 years. I don't know if it's still possible that could be uplifted or changed any way, but that could be an interesting swap deal because, of course, Hazard has been linked to Madrid for a while now. Not swap deal, no, because, of course, Hazard will go Real Madrid and, yeah, Griezmann will be leaving Atletico, of course. Was rescinded? No. I remember there was a lot of talk about it. I can't remember whether it was fully rescinded or not. Someone get on it. Someone get the Googles going. Do an Ajum who absolutely pull out the bag with an absolute moment of madness with some very big breaking news. To be fair, Antoine Griezmann, he's been at Atletico Madrid for quite a while now. I think maybe he just wants a new challenge because he's now a World Cup winner. He's done a lot with Atletico. He just wants to try his trade elsewhere. They lost to PL, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I read before. Oh, nice. Ha ha ha. Unlucky chat. See, even though he's unsure about it, Tom, that is music to his ears. I'm glad to hear that news makes you happy. But yeah, so where would he go? As I said before, I could see him going to Barca or Madrid. Who's Griezmann's agent is a very good question. It's a very good question. Lol Chelscum, says GBW. Not too much love for Chelsea right now. I don't know if there's any Chelsea fans watching on from behind the scenes, just hiding away and just not wanting to get involved. Griezmann to Barca, then I'd agree. Yeah, I could see that, to be fair. They could have a front three of Suarez, Messi, Griezmann. If Griezmann has it in him, he could play a bit more wider than just up front, but I don't think he'd enjoy that. I think he's one of the players, he'd want to be out and out striker or up front and not. He wouldn't want to be out of position. I don't think he would be happy about that. Oh God, imagine if he brought the Fortnite celebrations to England. Oh my God, the Yadars would die. You know, it would be code red. Imagine it. If he joined Man City or Liverpool away at Sheffield United, make it 2-0 in the 70th minute, and he starts orange justicing in front of some angry Yorkshiremen. Your darts, they'd be bright red. It would be game over. They would be the worst thing to happen to Sheffield. Oh my God. Imagine him at United. That's a very good point. That I could see that happening. Wouldn't surprise me if Solskjaer was a fan of his. Would not surprise me at all. Solskjaer, of course, being a very clinical finisher back in his career, he sees Griezmann as possibly similar to him in very similar ways, both lethal finishers. Of course, he's going to be a fan of his. So, could United be a possibility? Reports saying he's in talks with Barca. Now, that's fair enough. I can imagine that being the case. So Sports News says, him and Pogba dabbing all over the shop after getting the consolation of a 5-1 defeat to sit. Okay, it's a new statement we're going to have. Banter of the day. Congrats, Solar Sports News and Tom behind the keys there. I'll say that's banter the stream. Banter of the day so far. Terrific stuff. Brilliant. But yeah, that's a madness that's just been announced all of a sudden. Well, I'll have to be looking at Twitter to see what people are saying about that. I have a friend of mine who's a big fan of Griezmann himself, and he's a City fan as well. So if there's any chance he'd go to Man City, I think he honestly would. Oh my God, I don't know what he would do. I have no idea what he'd do. Nothing but dubs. So Sports News. It's what we do here. Dub Nation. Thank you, Peter. No, thank you. Thank you. So we do on this channel. We get dubs. We don't take no L's. Unlike Deji, so Deji on the undercard. Why not? PSG, very good shout to be fair, Zer. That's a very fair shout. God, imagine that forward line of Mbappe, Griezmann, and Neymar. But that's the thing. Is it really the front line they need to be working on? Because they were on a disgraceful losing streak, weren't they? Where they were just getting done left, right, and centre by the farmers all around the league. They lost a cup final against. I can't remember who it was, but it was a team Ben Arthur plays for now, and was it Nice? I can't remember. They lost the final, and a lot of people in France saw it as a win for French football almost. Or Juve with Dybala leaving, that could be another possibility as well. Where Dybala would go, wouldn't be too sure. Apparently there's rumours that people have been looking at him at United. Rennes, that is it. Thank you very much, Adam. Rennes were victorious in that French Cup final. The team we lost to for FFS. We now you know why. They're class. They're sick. That's why. He'd be wasted at PSG. I couldn't agree more. PSG, Do not go to PSG. It's at the stage right now where they're looking to be more like a fashion brand than a football club. Don't get me wrong, their Jordan kits I love. I think they're sick. But you can't go there if you want to progress your career. It's not a fact. That just wouldn't work. Dybala has been linked with Liverpool. He's been linked there for ages, EC, and you're not wrong. Would he actually go? Would he actually go to Liverpool? If he did, would you drop Firmino? So it'd be Dybala middle, then Salah and Mane. I think you probably have to, which is weird. Which is weird to think, because Firmino has been such a vital cog for Liverpool. I'd take Dybala at Liverpool, so the rest of the league don't have him. Simple as that. Just doing some Jose Mourinho tactics with signing Alexis Sanchez, just so City don't have him. The only reason that he went there. I'll play Firmino behind Dybala. Very fair shout. So like a 4-2-3-1, the classic on FIFA where you have the LAM, RAM and Cam. They're very good pro clubs formation. So Firmino in behind Dybala, Salah and Mane a bit more width going forward. I don't think he would fit though. Honestly, I don't think you need him. I really don't think you need him. That's what I was saying, Adam White. Or drop Firmino. I think you'd have to, but I'm not sure. Super sub, it's true, but is he a player that really would do enough coming off the bench, or is he a player you'd want to be from the off, doing his thing, really affecting the team and doing bits? Dybala could play on the wing if Mane or Salah got injured. That's true. He has potential to play on the wing as well. But in the words of Footy Manager, would get seriously overrun in midfield. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That would be something else. Griezmann to Arsenal would be nice. You're not wrong, sir. You can dream. Like, who knows? He might be a fan of Emery's. We can dream, Hazard, says Adam H. White. True track back king. True track back king Bobby. What am I reading? Does Dybala have the work rate that Firmino gives? I couldn't tell you. See, I'm not a fan. I'm not a friend of his. I don't watch too much of Serie A to be able to tell you that. Would Dybala want to leave now that Juventus are looking to put it to the next step with Ronaldo being there, or is he tired of having someone overshadowing him and wants his own team? That's the thing. If he went to Liverpool, it wouldn't be his own team. Same with United. So. It's weird. It's a common trait in basketball that a superstar wants to go to a team and it will be their team, but it's not so common in football. Because for football you need much more, because of course there's more people playing at a time. Griezmann to hashtag. Oh my god, Jack White would explode. Imagine that. Neil Richmond and Paulo Dybala up top together. Jesus Christ. Yes, says GVW. Imagine Ricky Evans feeding balls through to Antoine Griezmann. Good lord. Ay caramba. Oh, I couldn't imagine it. That would be something else. But yeah, that was a nice little topic to end on. A bit of breaking news there. I guess we can only wait and see to where Griezmann will be looking to head to, whether it be to England or anywhere in England or somewhere else in Spain, as he's been linked to Barcelona, or if possible still Real Madrid or any other league. We'll have to wait and see where he ends up going. So, on that note, just want to show you again, just annoying. I'm sorry, Mane in for Pogba. That was a mistake. But yeah, thank you very much to everyone that joined in on this stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much to everyone that tuned in and voiced your opinions. It was a lot of fun to really take into and have a good discussion with all of you. I hope you've really enjoyed all of it. Griezmann to China says, God, I hope not. But I actually could see. He's one of them people that would do that, no doubt. He'd be dabbing over nobody Chinese defenders when he scores his hat-trick in Guangzhou or wherever, God knows where. So yeah, as I was saying, thank you so much to everyone that's watched. Please do, if you haven't already, bang, follow me on Twitter @BallJ_. Follow me on Instagram, BallDrake_. And please do subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and ring those bells. Please be sure to do that so you don't miss future streams. We will be having another stream in the near future. And also, if you have any topics you think I should stream about, then do message me and let me know what you think we should be streaming about. But yes, again, thank you so much everyone for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.